Hey folks, this is Vint with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly check out Quilts and Cats of Calico. So this is based off of the actual tabletop game Calico. This digital adaptation will be coming to Steam on March 5th, 2024. So what's cool about the digital version is that you can create your own cats. In the tabletop version of the game, the cats represent victory points that you'll be able to shoot for. Each cat wants a particular quilt pattern. They're colorblind, so they don't care what color the pattern is, so as long as the pattern matches the shape that they want, whether it be like a triangle or various things like that. But in this cat editor, you'll be able to change the color of the cat, you'll be able to change the fur, the shape, and then some other general stuff, even the eye color, which is kind of cool. Now, the cats in the tabletop game Calico, they are based off of actual cats, and they look fantastic, but if you want to take it one step further in this digital version, you could totally do that. You can give them hats, for example. So this game features both single player and multiplayer. In multiplayer, you pick a portrait. You can change your name from there if you want to. You can also pick a table design. And then you can choose asynchronous play or real time, but you're limited to like 3 minutes per turn, which I think is a mistake. There's no way to add bots here, unfortunately, based on what I've seen. I could be wrong about that, but I did not see a way to add bots. However, in single player, you can add bots. It's just a way of, playing against the computer. Now, there's a story mode, and there's just a one-off skirmish game. The story mode's okay. It takes you through various challenges. But there's 3 different difficulties. There's like easy, normal, and hard, and you can add up to 3 AI opponents from there if you want to. You can also assign what cats that you want to play with. Again, 3 cats, and they represent victory points that you'll be shooting for in the game. I'll get more into that later. The story mode, like I said, is just... I personally could care less about a story related to the board game Calico, but it's there. It's there if you want it, okay? And typically the objectives for each level, they block off parts of the level. Oh, for this level, your objective is to get this many buttons or something like that. So you're kind of, it's more puzzly in the way that it plays in story mode. Now, that's not to say that the game isn't puzzly already. The typical way to play this game is you pick 3 cats for your victory point condition, and then you pick 3 scoring tiles that you place into the middle of your personal mat. And these represent the patterns that you're putting tiles down on your board, and depending on how you place them around these scoring tiles, they may or may not score. So for example, one scoring tile might want 4 of the same color or of the same type of pattern, and also 2 of the same type or color. So you can either choose either the same color or the same pattern, or if you manage to get both conditions satisfied, you get like more points. The points in blue are like if you satisfy one, either the pattern or the color, and the number in gold is if you satisfy both at the same time, which is really hard to do. So on your turn, you have 2 tiles in your hand, you play one, and then you pick 1 from the 3 in reserve. These are just from a bag, and the bag will be filled with tiles, and the number of tiles in that bag changes based on the number of players. Solo, for example, you're going to take out like a complete set of tiles, I believe, if I remember correctly. It's been a while since I've actually played it. So on the left-hand side of the screen, you've got the cats that were picked for this particular game. You, again, are not caring about colors when it comes to cats. Cats are colorblind. So all you're really caring about is completing the patterns. So for example, Callie on the left wants a triangle pattern of either ferns or whatever that is. It looks like it looks like a diamond shape, kind of, sort of like a window. I don't know, anyway. So you're trying to get those patterns fulfilled, and if you do so, you put a cat button on that pattern to show that you've scored it. Now, the other way to score is via color, and if you manage to get 3 of a particular color together, adjacent to each other, they will score a button of that color. And if you happen to get all 6 buttons on your mat, meaning you've got 3 pink adjacent to each other somewhere, 3 yellow, 3 purple, 3 aqua, 3 blue, so on, so on. If you get all 6 colors on the table and you've got 3 adjacent to each other to where you've scored a button, you get a bonus rainbow button, which scores you extra points. So like there are so many different ways to score this. Again, you're trying to get patterns for the cats. And again, that's not color dependent, it's pattern dependent. You're trying to get colors of the same color next to each other and adjacent so you can get buttons. And you're also trying to keep in mind the 3 scoring tiles in the middle, like where it says there's 4 A's and 2 B's, or 3 A's and 3 B's, or 2A, 2B, 1C, and 1D. You're trying to, get 2 of the same color here, and 2 of the same color here, and 1, or patterns, but preferably because you get more points for doing that. So, and the board in which you have to work with is so limited. And it's really hard to do everything in this game. It's like you kind of have to pick what's going to score you the most points, and then also take some risks, because you may be counting on one particular tile to come out to complete like a set or a pattern or something, and you're just not getting it. Or if you're playing with other people, it's like, well, now they see what you need and they're taking it from the pool so that you can't get it. So it can be pretty nasty sometimes, but Calico as a whole, like the board game, is fantastic. I introduced this game to my fiance's mom and she loved it. And this digital version is great because in addition to doing all the normal Calico board game things, you've got these digital cats walking all over your quilt. And you can even see, like, when they're stepping on an individual piece, it'll indent because their paw's putting pressure on it. Like, it's 3D quilt with I love it. I love it when the cats just walk over them. I can't see anything, but that's what cats do. That's what they're famous for. They're famous for tripping you at the top of the stairs, and they're famous for getting in your way. And anyway, cats are cats. But I love this digital adaptation because it's put together very well. It's still very colorful, but I love the ability to design your own cats and to give those custom cats their own scoring values. You could use the default ones like Millie and Callie and Almond. Those are in the board game as well. But you can totally make your own in this digital version, and I think that's huge. I'm not that great at this game because, like, I'm one of those people that want to score everything, but realistically, unless you get the perfect draw every single time, you just have to accept that you're not going to get everything you want. For the longest time, I was waiting for a purple polka dot tile so I can complete a set of 3 purple and complete my set of 5 for the pattern of almond, and I just couldn't get it. There was no way I could draft it in time. It was awful. And when it does come up, you've already filled the hole. It's like Tetris, you get that line piece after you've plugged the gap. So anyway, Calico Digital, fantastic game. Highly recommend this one. You can play it solo, as you see me doing here. You just trying to get a high score. That's all you're really trying to do. And don't worry if you don't do well on your first couple of playthroughs. I've played this several times and I'm still not very good at it. It's, again, some of it is luck based on what you draw from the bag and what you draft. And other times it's, there's some strategy involved. Maybe you've taken too many risks and now you can't complete the patterns and the colors and all that you were trying to do, and now you just have to hope for second best. Whatever you happen to get is what you get, and there you go. That's the nature of this game, but it's also very cute to boot, and I enjoy it. Story mode, it's just another fancy way of including puzzles in the game. I'm completely fine without a story mode, but it's there if you want it. So there you go. That was Calico, the Cats and Quilts, or Quilts and Cats of Calico. It's a fantastic game. Highly recommend it. Go check it out. This is Vince. Thanks for watching. I will catch you all next time. Take care.